I'm Nikki.
And I'm Jenni, and we're from Chicago. We just moved here a couple weeks ago. We visited here in Denver from Chicago in May, so that was a few months ago. And when we were visiting for the weekend, I, already knew that I wanted to live in Denver, and I was planning on moving here, so we were just kind of trying to check out the scene and the neighborhoods and everything. And I really wanted to find a Sunday service. We were literally flying home from here to go to Chicago later on that Sunday, and so I was like, oh yeah, we need to check out a church service before. So literally I just looked on Instagram and was just seeing what the church scene was like, and I came across the Brook, which I thought was a church, and Nikki and I were like, oh, we should check this out, and we saw that they were plugged in with restoration. And so
I just graduated nursing school. We came here literally the weekend after I graduated, and Jenni was pretty gung-ho on moving, and for me, I kind of came as more to be a support system.
Totally.
But I really wanted to prioritize okay, if we're gonna move, and we stayed in the downtown Highlands area, I was our flight is Sunday evening. We don't really have plans for the morning, so let's find a church to go to. And so that's when Jenni, she mentioned, she found it on Instagram. We saw Jason and Molly right away, and we were like, oh, we gotta talk to them.
Because we recognized them for Instagram, and I was like, okay, this is a good way to just get plugged in. So, we kind of moseyed on by when, Jason had some free time to talk.
And they plugged us in.
Yeah.
Because we're here.
Just from the start, after we started connecting with Jason and Molly and a few other people from the Brook, it made just moving here so much easier because we already got to know people. With the Brook, we got plugged into a simple church right away, which was awesome because we were able to do that on Zoom while we were still in Chicago and just meet some people here that lived in Denver, which was awesome.
The thing that caught me right away is seriously how much you guys invest in fulfilling the mission of the Great Commission. Like I mentioned, Jenni and I, back at home, we were never really plugged in, and we would, go to services on the day-to-day, and we went to a Bible-breathing church, but it wasn't so much centered on the gospel and the mission of making disciples who make disciples. And I feel back at home, the Lord has been in different ways really equipping Jenni and I on how to strengthen our relationship with Him first and foremost, so then we can go out into the world and show others what a relationship with Christ is actually like. And yeah, you can just feel the Spirit breathing into everyone and kind of just having that feeling of, I can't just keep this joy to myself. I need to go out and share the gospel and advance the kingdom.
Right, and I just love too how the Brook, with its vision, it's so accessible to anybody. It's not just starting with people who live here in the small part of Denver. Like I said, we got plugged in when we were still in Chicago, and we lead a simple church right now, through restoration and through the Brook, and all the people in our simple church are mostly from Chicago, and so it's kind of cool to have them plugged in the vision, and then they've been inviting some of their friends. And I just think the idea of, it multiplying and making more disciples, it's not just a numbers game. It's not oh, we just need more people, we're trying to get bigger and bigger. It's very, like I said, it's very genuine and intentional about it, and it's awesome.
Well, and the simplicity of it is just so magnificent. You don't have to have this, this really detailed strategic plan. All you have to do is learn from others and then share your stories, and then, go out and share with others, and just leave it at that, and without any expectations of oh my gosh, I have to say the certain things, I have to do the certain things,
yeah, so chill, yeah.
Oh, it's awesome. It has been beyond a blessing to find the Brook and to actually have and cultivate those relationships, especially being so new still, but knowing that, the moment we kind of stepped out of that church service that day, we were okay, let's just do it. We don't really have a plan.
I think
we know
also,
it's all in God's hands.
Totally. I think also for me is you could totally tell that the people with the Brook are so intentional with just, creating a bigger family and just being so welcoming. We didn't feel oh, those new girls who were just sitting in the back, and, it's you could tell people at the Brook, once they see a new face, they want to get you involved and just kind of talk to you and learn your story. And we just felt very at home here right away.
Yeah.